And today I'm going to give you a tool and a super easy to do test to know your current fitness levels and to set up realistic goals so you can achieve all the PRs you want in life. The number one mistake runners do has nothing to do with strength training, long runs, mileage, fueling, or anything like that. It's setting up unrealistic goals. And it goes both ways. Setting up really slow goals and setting up really fast goals. Welcome to this second video of the series How to Achieve a New Marathon Personal Record. If you haven't watched the first one, I'm going to leave a link here into the description because all the videos build into each other. So I think it's important to watch the first one, then watch this one, then watch the next one when it's available. And you're going to set up yourself for success in your marathon journey. So today we're talking about marathon goals, and it's very common to set up random goals. I see it all the time with new and experienced runners. With new runners, it's just a random number, right? It's usually around 3, 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6 hours, 7 hours. It's a very random goal. It has to do with their previous experiences and comparison with their friends. If they believe they are slow runners, they're probably going to set up a goal above 4 hours. If they believe that they are fast runners, they're probably going to go a little faster, maybe even trying to do a sub 3 hour marathon in their first try. That is what I try to do, right? I didn't achieve it. I ran a 3 hours and 3 minutes marathon the first time. And I think I like to explain this because sometimes can be a little unrealistic. I don't believe anyone can do it. And I was a little surprised myself, but I did a half Ironman like 10 months before that race. So I wasn't an experienced marathon runner, but I had the fitness to do a half Ironman that takes way more than marathon. But I had a base fitness level, and I used this tool and calculator I'm gonna share with you today to set up this goal. So it was not a random goal. So what's this all about? It's to know your current fitness levels. When you know your current fitness levels, you can set up a goal, and then you can train to achieve that goal, and maybe you can train to maybe run faster than that goal. Why? Because you're going to assess your current fitness level today, and then obviously you're going to train for at least 16 weeks, I guess, 16, 12, 20 weeks to your next marathon, and obviously your fitness is going to improve, and more if you set up the right paces for your training based on this 6-minute time trial test. So what's the logic? What's the science behind this 6-minute time trial test? That the pace you can sustain for these 6 minutes is your VO2 max. And it's not your VO2 max. Your VO2 max is the numbers our Garmin or our watches gives us, right? 58, 42, 45, 67, whatever your number is. But this V, the first V, the velocity at VO2 max, it's the speed at when you achieve that maximum aerobic capacity. And 6 minutes, it's a very interesting number because it's long enough to test your endurance, your aerobic fitness, and it's fast enough to test your speed. So we have both worlds there, how fast you are and how good is your cardiovascular or your aerobic system. I'm going to leave a link in the description around here. It's going to take you to a page where I explain specifically or in detail how to do this 6-minute time trial, and below that video it's a calculator where you input that time and it's going to give you your predicted times for a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, or a marathon. Obviously you need to train. It's not the same if you're not doing long runs. It's very hard for you. It's going to be very difficult to achieve that time, but if you have the proper training plan, it's not only possible to achieve that time because we're basing that in our current fitness levels, but you're probably going to run faster because you're going to be fitter and faster in the next 12 to 20. One thing that happens a lot is that when runners do this test, they get really discouraged. And there are two reasons. The first one is that the goal time, the predicted time, is way lower than what they thought. And the second time is that sometimes doing the test is just 6 minutes, but it's hard and you need to learn how to do the test. We usually start way too fast and then slow down at the end. But with experience and taking the test a few times, you're going to get better at it. and it's going to start to predicting better and better and better times. And if you are in the first part that you get discouraged because of your time, I think you need to think the opposite about that. Don't think that you are getting discouraged or that it's way beyond the goal that you had in your mind. It's way beyond your current capabilities. Is that you are going to start to train smarter. You're reducing your chances of getting injured because you're not trying to achieve paces of mileage that is way out of your current fitness level. You're going to start training to improve where you are. And I love to do this test. I do this test 3 or 4 times a year. Because, for example, I'm right now in the middle of a training cycle for a marathon, and then I'm going to take not a month off, but I'm going to run way less. I'm going to go on vacations with my family, and probably when I get back, I'm not going to be as fit as I'm going to be at the end of the training cycle, right? So that's when I take a new test to set up my paces, to set up a realistic goal. And the cool thing is that when you do this for a few years, you start to see, oh, the first time I did this test, I was in November of last year. I did this pace. And then November this year, I am a little faster. November next year, I'm a little faster. November next year, a little faster. And you start to see how you become a faster runner over time, and that you are setting up very realistic goals. So there you have it. Setting realistic goals is really easy. It's the number one mistake runners do during their training. And I'm going to give you the tool, the video, and the calculator to set up your realistic paces down below. If you have any questions, as always, please don't hesitate to write a comment below this video. And around here, it's going to pop the next video of this training series of marathon training.